Hey guys, so a lot of people have asked me, how do you make enough money in free-to-play for a bond? Or how do you make money in free-to-play in general? I have just been looking to make money, and free-to-play seems like there's not really that many ways to make money. And you're not necessarily wrong, but there are a decent amount of ways to make money in free-to-play. So this video is aimed to show you how to make enough money in free-to-play, at least for a bond. It's going to be a little bit of grinding, and I will say that the requirements aren't necessarily the lowest, but again, they're not really the highest. What I'm going to be focusing on here, I'll be telling you the level requirement you actually need. I'm just going to show you guys some basic methods of what you can actually do. There's quite a few ways. So the first thing I want to cover is high alching in free-to-play. High alching can be a very good way to make some money. You just obviously have to know about the actual prices of things to see if you're going to make enough on the alch itself. And right now, rune prices, or nature rune prices, are currently 256 GP each. For those that don't know, and I'm sure pretty much everyone knows at this point, to high alch you just need a fire staff, and that's very basic. But what I am going to show you right here is, it might help you out a lot actually, and I don't know if I'm allowed to show the actual website or not. Maybe I shouldn't show you. But I will say that this website is super helpful. Okay, so the websites aren't actually that good anyway, so we're not going to use them. So what you can just use is you can go to the Oldschool Runescape Wikipedia page, look up the item that you think would be good. So let's say, for example, a mithril plate body, and the mithril plate body currently alchs for 3.120 GP, or 3,120 GP. I just said that weird. And what I am going to try to buy it for here, because I can minimize the amount of money that I'm actually going to lose on it, is, let's just see. No, I can't buy that. I don't have that money. We're going to call that 60. Yeah, 60. Why not? And we can just bump it up a little bit. And it should buy. Yeah, there we go. It should buy. So what we are trying to do here actually is not just alch everything, because obviously you want to alch things that you can either make a profit on or minimize the amount of loss that you're going to make on it. But what we want to do is purchase enough runes so we can go and telegrab Wines of Zamorak. And for this, you pretty much just need 55 magic. You're going to need 55 magic, and then you are going to need air runes and all that good stuff. Okay, so what we are going to be doing now is going to telegrab the Wines of Zamorak, and I'll show you exactly where those are. You obviously are going to take the route of going to Falador. You come up to the little Chaos Temple, you fill up your inventory, then you go towards Falador again, you bank, and you repeat the whole process. So why we are alching at the same time is we're trying to squeeze every little bit of profit we can out of this. The law runes are going to be subsidizing the prices of the Wines of Zamorak, and the nature runes are going to be subsidizing the price of the mithril plate body, as well as the price that we bought it for. So every time I alch a mithril plate body right now, I am gaining 114 GP, since I bought it for 2,750 GP each. And the whole thing about it is I just had to find the price by looking at the Oldschool Runescape wiki. One thing I will say when you come to the Wines of Zamorak is every now and then there's either going to be botters or people that are just kind of, you know, chilling. Right now I'm playing on the weekend, so that is why you can actually just run into people right here. But all you have to do is just find a nice empty world. These two are competing. Every time they don't get it, they are losing out in prices. So you pretty much have to find a nice good old open world. So I will say you probably will have to compete with people if you're playing on the weekend, because more likely than not people are just bots. But if you're playing during the week, you really don't have much competition. I will say that. I am recording this on the weekend. Anyway, I found that the best spot to actually stand is further back, not right next to it, and you'll see why in a second. This guy is competing with me, and I was actually talking to this guy before. Well, I mean, trying to talk to this guy. I wasn't really responding back. But look, I'm going to get it every single time. That guy's standing right next to the table, and I'm probably going to get it every single time. I don't want to call the guy a bot, but you would think by now he would notice. I tried talking with him for like 5 minutes. Again, I don't want to just say everyone I don't friggin' like is a bot, because, I mean, obviously, I don't even know this guy, but it just seems that he is kind of botting. We are in the 750 total world, too, so if you do have either 500 skill total or 750 skill total, you all, right off the bat, are not going to deal with as much people as you normally would. And I completely forgot to go for it that time. Right off the bat, you're not going to deal with as many people as you normally would. But again, if you just do this during the week, you're not going to deal with that many people whatsoever. Okay, so we're coming up to a full inventory here. We just have to beat this guy out for the last time. I don't know why. He just hasn't been fighting it like the past like 10 wines. So we got a full inventory here. This would be the approach that you would take if you still had more things to alch. You just come right here, you go into the bank, obviously you bank it, and then you come back and you just run back up. But I just want to show you how much we actually made here. You know, as we started with the 200k cash stack, and since the nature runes are 256 each, we only lost on that 256 times 60. We only lost 15k, so let's just pretend 15k actually isn't in this. Okay. Okay, so just from the one trip itself, I got 257k from everything, just from alking, and that only took about 10 minutes. So let's just say we made 57k for that. We would be making 342k an hour, so that's pretty freaking good. Okay, so what the next method actually is going to be, and I'm going to show you a few different spots. It is going to be mining iron ore in the Falador, whatchamacallit, mine shaft. Although there are, again, a few different spots, but the reason why the Falador mine shaft is the best is because it's the closest to a bank, and you can probably make anywhere between 100k to 250k cash an hour. All I would really recommend to have is just 41 mining so you can have a rune pickaxe. Anyway, for those that don't know, obviously this is going to be in Falador. You start by teleporting in here, you go all the way to the bank, you know, if you freaking want to go get your rune pickaxe or whatever it might be, then you come down all the way over to this little hut right here, you go right down, you're going to go right into the mine shaft. Then there are a few different things that you can actually mine in here. You can mine coal, you can mine, well, I mean, obviously freaking iron, and that's the whole freaking point, though, of what you're trying to mine here. What world are we in? Yeah, cool, the 750 total world. Again, it's really nice to actually have 750 total, but if you don't have 750 total, you could just go to the world 81 or any of the other random worlds. All the bots, again, during the week are going to be banned. You're pretty much just only going to be competing with legitimate players. The thing about this spot right here is it's nice. You can just go right between the three, you just run right back and forth, and you pretty much mine this again. You get a whole inventory in about, I believe it is 200, you do it in 2 minutes and 20 seconds and a full inventory, even though I believe the current price is actually higher than this. The OS Buddy price says it's about 212 GP, but I believe the price of iron ore right now is 244, but I very well could be wrong. The OS Buddy price always, or necessarily, isn't always right. Okay, so if you're going to mine in the Falador area, it is going to take you about 2 minutes and 20 seconds to get from the bank, go to the deposit box, come right here, bank it, and then go back down into the mine shaft itself. But it is, you know, even with the price being a little bit below average, let's just say it is 6k per inventory, and it takes you about 2 minutes and maybe 20 seconds or whatever it might be. That is still going to be 150k cash an hour, regardless of whatever the Oldschool Runescape Wikipedia page actually said. You at the very least will get 150k cash an hour at this current rate. Okay, so this is definitely a less contested place, but the only reason why it's less contested is because the bank is so much further away. But at the same time, at least you don't have to really deal with people as much. Even with some people here, this is a pretty uncontested spot right here. It's 3 iron ore, and it goes so much quicker than in Falador. But again, the setback is that this is a lot further away from a bank itself. As you can kind of just see here, I was just testing everything out, but I was going to go over anchovy pizzas as being a good money-making method, but it kind of does vary. I'll show you really quick what you can do, but it kind of varies in how much money you are going to make on it. So I don't know if I'd really call it, you know, something that sturdy and consistent. So you can buy anchovies, bought for 138 GP each. Then you buy a pizza, just a plain little pizza. Buy that for, what, 700 GP each. So right now it is 838 GP for the cost of this anchovy pizza. I believe you need 55 cooking. So then you just put them together. Obviously there's no chance of burning because you're literally just putting anchovies on a pizza here. Then you try and sell this, which it doesn't even look for like it's selling for $8.91 at the moment, but at the same time, maybe it's not really that peak of hours. So it actually was only about like a 38, or not a 38 GP. I'm not gonna try to freaking do the math. Someone can do the math and be like, wow, you suck at math, and I'll be like, yeah, you're right, I do suck at math. But point being is that you can make some money on that. You can probably make anywhere from 50 to 150k an hour, depending on the actual price of pizzas and the supplies of anchovy pizzas and everything. It kind of just depends on it. So what I did want to show, I'll kind of just show that really quick, but I wanted to show this to make rings of, well, not rings of recoil. It's technically just sapphire rings, but the sapphire rings make rings of recoil, and I was just thinking about it, thinking about supplies that you actually would need, or things that PKers normally use, because I'm always buying rings of recoils. Ooh, we just don't have enough money. That's sad. We can make just about that, though. Maybe we actually will, though. Yeah, okay, no, we definitely do have the money there, because I overestimated. How much can you buy them for each? Wow, 1,324 each. You can actually buy those for a decent amount. So, get some more sapphire, get 3 more. So the actual price of a sapphire ring itself right now is 1,616 GP each, which is freaking good, because as you can see right here, that's like a 200 GP profit margin on every single sapphire ring. So the best place, as most of you probably know, to smelt anything is in Alcarid in free to play. In pay to play, I believe it's, I don't even freaking know what it's called. It's a little ghostly place, right? Maybe even some places better on yeah, it's Port Fat Asmus right here. Look, bank right there, and then the freaking thing right there. Maybe there's a better place even on Zaya, but that doesn't matter. You come down here, and there is going to be the furnace right next to the bank. Okay, this should actually be the last of it, and that was a very fast amount of time. I think I got that in like 5 minutes. Oh, hey. Hey, man, thanks. You're in now. Cool. Alright, so let's just actually show you the amount. Again, we put, I think, 100k into it, and I don't remember how much I actually took out beforehand. It was like 8k, I don't know. We'll go check, and we'll go sell this in the GE. For all intents and purposes, I can't imagine that took me more than 5 minutes. I want to say it took me like 4 minutes, but we're just going to call it 5 minutes, and I made 14k. So if you were to do that continuously throughout the hour, you can make about, at the current rates, at the current prices of everything, you can make about 168k an hour. That's pretty decent, all things considered. Plus, you could also do that with the, what, just the ruby, or not ruby, the emerald ring. Yeah, it's not as much money, or like no doubt, but you can still make money making rings, so it is good money at the moment. Okay, so this next method is probably hands down one of the best methods that you can get out of here, and that is going to be buying chaos rune packs, just buying runes from the Rune Shop, actually. So you can see right here that the chaos runes sell for, or buy for, whatever you want to call it, 100 GP each. Then you go to the fire runes and the air runes. Fire runes and air runes are both 4 GP each as well. Got an air rune right here. Whatever. So now you know the price, and we're going to go to the, oh, come on, man. We're going to go to the Rune Shop in the southeast part of, okay, I'm running north. The southeast part of Varrock. Okay, so these Rune Shops are definitely bought out a lot. It's definitely worth noting that. But as you can see, you get 100 for 440 GP each. That wouldn't be worth it. But if you go here, you get them for 9,950 each. You can buy them one. Still worth it. Still worth it. Still worth it. Should be able to buy. Nope. Pretty much just buy 3 at a time, and then you can just go and hop. And by the looks of it, another good rune to buy 100%, which I think we might actually shift our focus to, is death runes after this. So we are going to buy these out, and then I'm going to show you death runes, because I believe the price of death runes are a lot higher, and there's a lot bigger of a profit margin on death runes at the moment, because it costs 223 GP to actually buy one, and it costs 362 to sell one, whereas these, just throw all this in right now. See, I already did make a profit, but that's a huge margin right there, guys. That's a 100% huge margin. Like, that is a decent amount of profit. Let's actually go and sell this, and I think we can go for the death runes next. Okay, so just by the looks of it, oh, fuck, I might have actually, no, I didn't mess it up, cool. So with this, we can definitely make a lot more money from the death runes. So we're going to go out and just buy out the entire shop. I am going to just try and buy this entire cash stack. It might take quite a little bit, but I am going to just do it and see how long it actually takes. You know, it's definitely worth noting that there's a magic shop as well in, whatchamacallit, Port Sarim. I don't know if many people actually know that as well, but you can go to these 2 worlds right here and then buy out a lot of different death runes, because right now, as we just saw, the price of death runes, there is a huge profit margin on them, and it would definitely be nice to just buy all of those out. So we can look at that. I mean, of course, if you're members, then you don't even need to friggin' worry about the buy limit, or not the buy limit, or just competition, because there's so many different worlds that you can actually go to and everything. But it's definitely worth noting that you can buy the death runes here. Alright, so we just got done here, and that must have been, I don't know, anywhere from an hour to 2 hours. I wasn't paying too much attention. I was just watching a live stream, honestly. You can do that probably even faster than that if the shops aren't contested, but again, it's the weekends right now, so bots really do take those. But if you are a member, I did go and check. You can go onto the Void Knight Outpost, and there are bots on there again, but if you just report them, they will get banned. If you do this during the week, it will probably be a much different story, and if a lot of bots actually do get banned that are doing this method, then the price of death runes actually will rise again. People know about this, and the price of runes is still very, very high, so I don't really think that this is going to crash anytime soon. Even if it does, and a lot of runes get put in, a lot of runes do go out of the economy, so I guess it's pretty much just going to fluctuate, but I really don't think it'll ruin it too much. Let me actually sell these now and show you how much you can make. That's quite the amount. I think I did that in like an hour or so as well. For the sake of it, let's just say I did that in 2 hours. That's about 354k. So just divide that by 2. At the very least, you can make 177k an hour from this. So that is a very, very good method in my opinion. Very good. One last method I will talk about, and I didn't like how long the clip actually was, so I'm just going to cut this down big time. I was buying these steel arrows out for 26 GP, or up until about 26 GP, and then I was just going to sell them to the GE for about 32, 33 GP, or whatever it might have been. I think you can start buying the steel arrows at about 16 GP each, 15 GP each right there. Well, I mean, at least for that, because they are in stock at 1,000. But you can pretty much just buy those out, you know, big time up until I think 800 and like about there, 880, and then you stop buying them, you hop. It definitely is something that you really can't do too much of. I would definitely just say do the runes over this. But if you want to just kind of make a little bit of cash in between here and there, like a small amount, this is definitely worth it. The last thing I was going to cover was going to be merching, but there's so many different videos on it already. I mean, you guys already know, so the only reason I made this is because people have been specifically asking me, how can I make money in free-to-play to earn a bond? So I figured, you know what, now there is a video that I can actually point them towards. And I would do this for pay-to-play, would, whatever you want to call it. I will, but, I mean, I've already done one before, and I'm not sure if the methods that I used in that video are what I would just use for the updated video. So I mean, if you guys really want it, then let me know down below. Other than that, sorry this video was so long for those that were just kind of watching just to watch. I wanted to explain things in depth for people that might not necessarily understand how to do any of these things. I mean, of course, some of you guys that will be watching this are going to be pretty seasoned at this game, so you'll know what it actually is all about. And this video might have a few dislikes, or I don't know, depending on how much it, you know, will actually have. But as long as it helps people, it doesn't really matter. So thank you guys for watching, and I will see you probably next 2 days. I don't know. Gonna have a PK video. Okay, bye.